All right. Hello, Melbourne. Hello, you like my jacket? I look like a failed magician. Very good evening. All my friends in comedy, they all told me the same thing. Say, Jason, you want to make it in comedy, you have to fly to Australia, do comedy in Melbourne, do comedy right here in Melbourne in front of white people. So, thank you, white people. Thank you, white people. Thank you. Always thank you. 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 Asian. Hi, hi, hi. And before I did comedy, I was a medical doctor because obviously, okay? It's true. And as a man of science, I don't really believe in all these homeopathic doctors, homeopathic healers. To me, they're all a bunch of bullshitters. You know how I know? Because you realize that there are no homeopathic versions of other modern professions. There is no such thing as a homeopathic pilot. Can you imagine the boarding announcement from the homeopathic pilot? Good evening, this is your captain speaking. My name is Captain Lim. I'm a homeopathic pilot. I graduated from the Beijing Academy of Astrology, Acupuncture, and Aviation. I've consulted the feng shui charts. Today's flight is very lucky. I'm also an Aquarius. And we Aquarians, we're very reliable and responsible. So you're all in good hands. Except for those of you who are Gemini. If you're Gemini, please leave the plane immediately. We are not compatible. Not this week. Maybe next week. So sit back, relax, put your trays back into the original position, your seats in the upright position, realign your chakras as we await for clearance from the tower and for the god of wind to blow us into the sky. Oh, it's not gonna happen. Okay. Okay. The next story I'm going to tell is one of my favorite stories to tell because it can only happen in a city like Melbourne, okay? It's a dream come true to perform here, but in 2015, that was my first time performing at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival, right? 8 years ago, and in that festival, 2015, I had to do something which I'd never done before in my life, okay? I had to give out flyers for my show. And as we all know, giving out flyers is very rewarding. It's a humbling, humiliating experience giving out flyers. Society rejects people giving out flyers, okay? I was giving out flyers on the cold streets of Swanston Street. Hey, please come to my show. Please come to my show. Please come to my show. One Australian lady saw my flyer, took my flyer. Yeah, sure, I'll come to your show, no problem. Very nice. She walked past me. As she walked past me, she didn't know I was going to turn to look at her. I turned to look at her, and this lady, she reached the end of the street. And this lady, with my flyer in her hand, she crushed my flyer. My hopes and dreams. And she put it into the rubbish bin. I was so sad and nearly cried. This lady had another friend who was going to cross to meet her. This lady saw her friend crush my flyer and put it into the rubbish bin. She was also watching me, watching in horror, at her friend crushing my flyer and put it into the rubbish bin. She looked at me and she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, oh my God, I'm so sorry. This lady crossed the street to scold her friend, how can you do this, Susan? It's right there, it's watching you. So embarrassing. And this second lady did something I shall never forget, touched my heart, okay? This second lady, with her bare hand, no glove, nothing. She reached inside the rubbish bin and she pulled out my flyer, held it up in all its crumpled glory. I was so touched, I nearly cried. And then she put my flyer into the recycling bin. And then I cried. Melbourne, this has been a dream come true. Thank you so much. I'm Jason Leong from Malaysia. Terima kasih.
Jason Leong, everyone.